From the WDXY studios in historic downtown Sumter, At Your Service Home Care presents Medical Forum with moderator Jeff Reed.
And welcome to this Saturday edition of Medical Forum. We are honored to have Mr. Jeff Fall and taking your time out today. Jeff, I will get right into it. I know you've had a busy week leading up to the 5-miler, and the weather, it's hot. It's hot.
Hot and beautiful.
Hot and beautiful. So before we get into that, Jeff, if you could give a little background on yourself, I'm sure everyone who listens to Melder Communications knows all about you, but catch your breath here. It's been a busy morning. Give us a rundown on Tuomey and yourself, Jeff, real quick.
Okay, thanks. Good morning. I'm Jeff Fall with the Tuomey Foundation. I've been at Tuomey for about 8 years now, and I started in business development as administrative director and still do that, but my main position now is running the Tuomey Foundation. So we've just completed our 5-miler. This is our 4th year of having that event, and as you know, the proceeds of that goes to fight diabetes.
Right.
And we've started an education plan in our schools, piggybacking on our Care Reach program. So we are taking those funds that we've raised, and we're now going out and trying to educate young folks and help them not only prevent but deal with that disease.
Well, and you were on the show about a month ago with Dr. Marr, and by the way,
Yep.
Dr. Marr's still on vacation, so you kids listening at home, it's very important, Jeff, to stay in school and to become a physician so you too can vacation. I give him a hard time.
Stay in school, study hard.
Yes, but he'll be back next week. But the last time when you visited with us, I don't think people realize how big a race this is. This isn't just something that Sumter throws together and says, yeah, a 5-miler. It's a part of a circuit, I believe.
Yeah, it's part of two things. Locally, it's part of the Sumter Series, which is sponsored by Anytime Fitness. This is our 2nd or 3rd year that they have endorsed the Sumter Series, which is now 8 runs.
Okay.
And then we're also part of the Palmetto Grand Prix, which is a statewide series of races that Strictly Running controls out of Columbia. And there's probably more than 100 races in the Palmetto Grand Prix. We are the only 5-mile distance, so we're fortunate to be unique there, and we draw a lot of runners from all over the state. So we have people as far as Washington and Arizona to come and participate, but we have a lot of people from Columbia, Florence, Charleston area.
Great.
Coming.
And it's for not
run
just
with us.
top runners. It's for, I think we were talking earlier last week, you can even bring a stroller out.
You
so
can
next
run,
year, people, you need
right.
to jot this date down and
run
attend.
and walk, ride your bike, push a stroller. It doesn't matter. We just encourage anyone and everyone to come out. You know, the way to prevent diabetes is through diet and activity. So walking. Studies have shown that walking is every bit as beneficial, maybe more so in some cases as running is.
Right.
So just get off the couch and come on out with us next year and enjoy the race. We always have a big turnout. We had a record crowd. All the winners will be announced and put on the website probably before the end of the day.
Okay.
But we have some young folks that are running in the under 30-minute pace for 5 miles, which is very fast.
Mm-hmm.
And all the way to walkers who can easily complete it in less than an hour.
Well, and I thank you for the shirt. Thank you. And for all the people, you'll see a lot of people wearing these shirts because of a lot of participation. And I'm sure, Jeff, everyone acknowledge all those great sponsors from the YMCA to Anytime Fitness.
Yep.
If I mention them all, we'll be here all week. Continental Tire, obviously. But you guys do a fantastic job with it. Continued success.
Thank you.
What's our next philanthropic here with the foundation?
Well, we will go right into getting ready for our golf tournament. We've already started having meetings. It'll be the second Friday in October. I believe that will be October the 9th. We'll talk about that maybe a little more as we get closer. That's a really good time of year. The golf courses are in good shape. The grass is matured. The weather is beginning to cool down just a little bit. So that's just the optimal time of year to have a golf tournament. And so we actually pushed it back a couple weeks this time to help have a better conditions and also not conflict with the folks out at Shaw Air Force Base. So that way we'll have more golfers coming. We're always looking for more sponsors and volunteers, but we are trying to get some celebrities to come. And, you know, we're working on this merger with Palmetto Health.
We spoke about the golf tournament that a lot of good hints they've given you to even endorse this or enhance already a great tournament.
We're looking forward to their participation. In fact, they just helped us with this race and gave us a nice sponsorship. In addition to Miller Communications, our host here. Mm-hmm. They always help us with everything, and we're just looking forward to more and more involvement with Palmetto, and nothing but good can come from being associated with a big system like that.
Absolutely.
And it'll make for a bigger and better golf tournament, so more to come on that.
What's the goal? How many teams did we have last year? Do you remember?
We had 34 teams.
Well, let's see if we can get 40. What would be a good number? Let's see, we've got 2 tees, so 36. I mean, that's pretty good right there. We're doubling off the front and the back.
36 is 8 people on every hole.
Wow.
So it's going to be difficult to get.
Can we do a morning and afternoon for those listening?
So maybe that's the goal. Next. And that's what Palmetto does.
Uh-huh.
They do 2 things that we're not able to yet. They have 2 sessions, and they play on a golf course that has 2 courses.
Okay.
So we don't have that luxury yet either, but we could maybe have it in 2 different locations or 2 different times, or we're open to any suggestions, ideas.
I think two tee times would be great. Chambers done it for a long time. We're over the green, so I think
seems to work for them.
Now, as we close down on this first segment a little bit, you kind of given us a hint. There might be a celebrity out here.
We are expecting. We have invited, and I won't say, but some football celebrities.
Okay, great.
Some race car celebrities.
Okay.
We have several.
Jeff Gordon should have time. Well, actually, he's closing down at that. This is his last year, so his focus might be
definitely one of his contemporaries.
Okay, all right.
There's big football coaches pretty close by.
Good deal.
They are also well connected to Palmetto, so we're going to leverage that relationship.
Awesome.
See if we can.
Well, Jeff, I'll tell you what. Catch your breath from a early morning here. Successful race. We're going to take a short break. I thank our sponsor, Tuomey Home Care, here with Jeff Fall for coming in on a very busy day. Looking forward to hearing more about all that's going on with Tuomey, and we'll be back right after this message.
Back with the latest in health and medical news on Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care, WDXY 1240 AM and 105.9 FM.
Here's a good policy from Bynum Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance. When you buy home and car insurance, you'll receive a multi-policy discount. And when you buy life insurance, you'll get a special discount on your home and car insurance. Auto Owners will save you money on all of the insurance you already have. Now that's good policy. This is Sandy Wilson with Bynum Insurance. Call me for all your insurance needs at 803-469-3030.
After my surgery, I heard my children discussing their fear for me to live alone. I wasn't ready to give up my home and freedom, so I called At Your Service Home Care, and now I have my own concierge. It's owned locally by medical professionals. They work with me to make sure that I recovered from my surgery. Now I can stay at home and I have a new friend that I enjoy spending time with. If I need help around the house or have insurance or legal questions or just getting to my hairdresser, they help me with it all. Call At Your Service today for your free consultation, 607-9677.
Reliable Medical Equipment has been locally owned and operated since 1999 and provides a full range of medical equipment and services. Our accredited facility has a fully certified staff, and we are here to assist you with all your diabetic shoe, custom bracing, and prosthetic needs. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, and most private insurances. We're located at 246 Broad Street. Call 934-9212 or 435-9927 for our Manning location, which is at 37 West Rigby Street. Voted Best Prosthetic and Orthotic Business for 7 years.
The doctor will see you now.
Are you new to Sumter or been here a while and in need of a new family health care provider? Look no further than the excellent care provided by the physicians and staff at Carolina Family Medicine. Carolina Family Medicine includes Dr. Philip Jansen and Dr. Tracy Ridgel, who both specialize in family medicine, and they're here to take care of you and your family, now accepting new patients. So call them today to schedule your appointment at 774-7425 or find out more at cfmsumter.com.
The doctor will see you now.
This is Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care.
And we are back on this Saturday morning here with Jeff Fall, director of Tuomey Foundation. And we were talking about the golf tournament. We, of course, were talking about the 5-miler that just completed today. And as Jeff said, look on the website for all the results to see if you recognize a local name, maybe who won. Or certainly if you follow running, you're going to have some quality people that are recognized. So golf tournament, again, to summarize what we're talking about, we're looking at hopefully getting off both tees in afternoon, hopefully, with 40 teams last year, I believe.
Yeah, 34, 35 last year. So we're looking to increase that by pretty good numbers. You know, the Sumter community, the population's growing, the industrial community is growing. We continue to add new companies and new jobs, and that's where we get a lot of our sponsors and players. So as the community continues to grow, then we should see growth in our...
Count me in again. 10 years. Right. I think it's been the 14th year. 10 years I've been honored to play in it. It's probably...
How many times have you won?
I think early on, but maybe two. There's a lot of good competition, but dollar for that tournament, not only for what you get, but where it goes back into the community. And
yes,
that's what I don't think people realize, how much Tuomey supports all the nonprofits around.
We do,
and it's a total and the golf tournament probably is a huge part of that.
Yep. And we try to participate in everyone else's fundraising activities, too. And so, Sumter is a very generous community, and we all try to help each other. And there are lots of nonprofits, lots of good, worthy causes out there, and everyone seems to help each other, and we all have pretty good success. And we do use that money in many, many ways. 2014 was nearly over $350,000.
Wow.
Or roughly $350 is what we put back into the community through all these wellness programs, screenings. You mentioned earlier the industrial medicine and wellness.
Well, let's talk about that, because I know that you and I, we see each other so often, and we take it for granted that we understand that with Kurt Ackerman and the Wellness Center. Why don't we switch gears just a touch to talk about that, because I know this month has been kind of screening awareness by Tuomey, and we're coming up on an event on the 16th that I think the community should be aware of. So talk to us about the industrial wellness part of Tuomey.
Twice a week somewhere in town we'll have screenings that are open to the public, and we're screening for blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, which we just completed the race and raised money for that cause, and then blood pressure.
And it's free.
It's free.
You just got to get there.
The next one coming up is at the Salvation Army Church.
Right.
And we try to, strategically be in locations all over town, so it's easy for folks to come and participate.
I'm looking kind of at the information here, and just for the people out there, it's Tuesday, June 16th from 8 to 11 a.m. at the Salvation Army Church.
Right.
And that's for the hypertension and the cholesterol and the diabetes, I believe.
Yes.
And then with the blood pressure, that's at the Salvation Army Church as well on the same day. So, hey, knock them out. It's a free doctor.
Yes.
And, of course, nothing's free, but to the people it is. And another great service that you guys bring.
Yeah, and we want to make sure people understand that these are leading indicators. They're very simple, inexpensive tests, but they will indicate if you have some underlying issues going on. Most all of these health issues can be prevented or controlled as long as you catch them early. And so we are more than willing to spend a lot of our money trying to help people catch these things early. And we really try to keep people from having to go to the emergency room.
Mm-hmm.
So many things can be prevented if you just do a little bit of
it's too bad Dr. Marr isn't here, because every show, I think this is about our 14th show, it's always about trying to be preventative. And we joke about it, but I mean, it's so important. These tests right here probably identify, I would say, 90% of the ailments that we have.
It does.
Between hypertension and cholesterol and diabetes, we're talking about the heart. Mm-hmm. We're talking about neuropathy.
Yep.
Blood pressure, obviously, stroke.
Stroke.
Which last week, that's what we were talking about, just a hotbed here in South Carolina.
Yes.
So take advantage of it. If you have any questions, give Jeannie Pack a call at 774-5289. And again, Salvation Army Church, 8 to 11 on Tuesday, June 16th. So anyway, another great call.
Yes.
And
I'll tell you real quickly, do we have another minute or two?
Oh, yeah, please.
Our Smart Beat program that Kurt does over there at Industrial Medicine and Wellness also is one of my favorite things. In fact, when I first came to Tuomey, I was involved with Dr. Cannon trying to get this thing put together, and it was one of his brainchilds, and he and Kurt got together. And, Smart Beat is an early heart disease detection, and it's real simple, 30 minutes or less, just a few tests. I think we charge for that. It costs about
$99. Yeah,
$100.
Yep.
And I've already had it done 2 times myself, but my father died of early heart disease, and I know that I'm a risk for that. And so far, I've been lucky that there's no signs, at least for me. But that's
how does that work?
Do
they? Is it inside the facility or is it outside the facility, and you bring over the necessary equipment?
Well, they do both.
Okay.
When he runs it in the paper, it's usually over there at the medical park at Westmark.
Okay.
And Alice Drive. At their facility, but they they have a mobile unit. They can go out to any site, a church, a business, and set up. You only need a technician. We do a 4-point blood pressure check. We do an EKG, and then we do what's probably most important, according to Kurt anyway, is the ultrasound on your carotid and aortic aorta arteries, carotid artery and your aortic artery. So that would indicate if you have any issues with your
some blockages
and circulation.
That's what we had Dr. Lauder on. He talked about the carotid.
Yes,
is the number one. Guess what? We're looking at the number one symptom that you want to diagnose. Yeah, your number one indicator.
And with the ultrasound, it's really easy to see. And you can see it on the TV screen. You can look at your own carotid and see for yourself what it looks like.
What a great example of helping the community with that, with the Wellness Center. And I'll tell you, we're coming up on a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about a new CEO.
Yep.
I believe it to me. So everyone buckle in for that. Let's
Times
thank
are
our
changing.
sponsor, At Your Service Home Care, for bringing us Medical Forum, and we'll be back right after this.
We'll be back with Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care on Sumter's home for news, talk, and sports. WDXY 1240 AM and 105.9 FM.
The doctor will see you now.
Are you new to Sumter or been here a while and in need of a new family health care provider? Look no further than the excellent care provided by the physicians and staff at Carolina Family Medicine. Carolina Family Medicine includes Dr. Philip Jansen and Dr. Tracy Ridgel, who both specialize in family medicine, and they're here to take care of you and your family, now accepting new patients. So call them today to schedule your appointment at 774-7425 or find out more at cfmsumter.com.
The doctor will see you now.
Here's a good policy from Bynum Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance. When you buy home and car insurance, you'll receive a multi-policy discount. And when you buy life insurance, you'll get a special discount on your home and car insurance. Auto owners will save you money on all of the insurance you already have. Now that's good policy. This is Karen Schwartz with Bynum Insurance. Call me for all your insurance needs at 803-469-3030.
After my surgery, I heard my children discussing their fear for me to live alone. I wasn't ready to give up my home and freedom, so I called At Your Service Home Care, and now I have my own concierge. It's owned locally by medical professionals. They work with me to make sure that I recovered from my surgery. Now I can stay at home and I have a new friend that I enjoy spending time with. If I need help around the house or have insurance or legal questions or just getting to my hairdresser, they help me with it all. Call At Your Service today for your free consultation, 607-9677.
Reliable Medical Equipment has been locally owned and operated since 1999 and provides a full range of medical equipment and services. Our accredited facility has a fully certified staff, and we are here to assist you with all your diabetic shoe, custom bracing, and prosthetic needs. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, and most private insurances. We're located at 246 Broad Street. Call 934-9212 or 435-9927 for our Manning location, which is at 37 West Rigby Street. Voted Best Prosthetic and Orthotic Business for 7 years.
This is Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care.
And we are back with Jeff Fall from Tuomey Foundation. Also want to let everyone know this also will be re-aired on Sunday. So if you've missed any of the conversation with Jeff, please listen in tomorrow from 2 to 3. And also next week, want to let everyone know our guest will be Miss Sandy Wilson and Karen Schwartz from Bynum, and they'll be talking to us about life insurance and all kinds of Obamacare, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So they will be someone that we'll want to listen to. And if you need any advice in that department, go see them at Wilson Hall Road on 1170 Wilson Hall Road, 469-3030. And Jeff, as we come back here in our third segment, I think that's so important when we're talking about the smart beat as we left this last break. So many times we think that we're in good shape. You and I are roughly the same age, and I would say that when most people see us, they would say, wow, you two don't have any problems or shouldn't have any problems. You're active. We see each other at the YMCA. We see each other on the golf course. You're extremely active in your role with Tuomey. It's not always the case, though, right?
No, we hear of folks all the time who just suddenly have an issue that you wouldn't expect, and that's one of the reasons I really like the Smart Beat, is because it'll indicate if you have any plaque buildup, which is a cholesterol issue. So by having a cholesterol test and doing the Smart Beat, then you can be sure that there's no issues with your circulation. And the biggest problem that people encounter probably with that is blockage, clogged arteries. And that comes from high cholesterol. So if your cholesterol is high, then there is a possibility that you may have some plaque buildup. And that's what the ultrasound would identify, any plaque in there.
Yeah.
And most of the time, once again, if you catch it early, it's as simple as just changing your diet and your activity and maybe some medication, but you don't even always need medication. if you a lot of this can be reversed as long as you make changes in your lifestyle, in your eating, in your diet.
I think that's the best thing to know. You know, if we can catch it, and we've talked about this on the show ad nauseum, prevention, and I really think that's what people at Tuomey, physicians that have been on here that work with you guys as well, I think that's been the common theme. Don't be afraid to find out. And when you have situations and devices like a smart beat, and it's economical too. I mean, for the price of $100 a night out with the kids in a movie, unfortunately, will cost that much. But something that allows you to spend more nights out with the kids and possibly save your life, then let's save that money. The other things that we talked about with the wellness, they're free. So let's start with that. Everybody get out, take advantage of what Tuomey's offering on their dime. And then if you have any questions about what Jeff and I are talking about with the Smart Beat, give a call over to the industrial medicine at 774-5289, or stop by. It's right there, Alice Drive, and might as well stop by. Traffic's going to hold you up anyway. So just stop, wait for traffic, go in, set an appointment, get back in your car, and then drive. I think one day we're going to have 4 lanes one day, Jeff.
Maybe. I hope we live to see it.
Well, if we go see these screenings, then we will.
I think it's worth noting real quickly, too, that many insurances will cover the Smart Beat checkup as a preventive measure. So it may be part of your plan and be in your deductible.
I think, Obamacare, for all of its pros and its cons, I think that's one of the things that they've tried to make available, a lot of these for preventative. So a lot of these are, as you've mentioned, been made available. So, all right, let's change gears. Let's talk about the new start here to Tuomey. We've got a new CEO.
We do.
Why don't you give us a little background? Maybe bring us up. Mr. Schwartz did a heck of a job, I think, coming in here. And his job was always a short-term fix to vector us through some times that we hope would be finalized by this point. And maybe before we talk about Miss Owens in this stint, let's give an update. Where are we with Tuomey a little bit? CEO, Mr. Schwartz, has moved on. Mm-hmm. We haven't settled the lawsuit yet. What's the story now?
Well, unfortunately, there is no new news on the federal case. We're still waiting for a decision from the Fourth Circuit Court. We were hoping to hear something by now. We were told that, if it wasn't by the end of May, early June, that it could go into after the summer because they have a recess. Mm-hmm. Some folks would say, no, you may hear during the summer. So we just don't know. But what we do know is there's been no news come from that court. So we are just continuing to run the hospital and do our mission as we always have and wait on the outcome.
Okay.
You know that we are lined up with Palmetto, and we're looking forward to that merger, and it's going to be a great partnership with them. They are a leader in not only the state, but apparently in the nation. They just won a big award for community involvement and all the things that they do to make their community, which is primarily Columbia, to make it better. Mm-hmm. So we're looking forward to that. Mr. Schwartz left at the end of May also. He stayed a lot longer than he originally intended to.
Good guy.
He was very good.
Numerous times. And
in fact, his wife said, we came here expecting to stay about 6 months, and they stayed 18 months. And they really enjoyed it here. And she said the only reason we stayed that long is because he really liked the people.
I think he really wanted to see his mission through, too.
He did.
And, I think everyone understands, and I think one thing that you touched on that we need to echo home, the care at Tuomey is not an indicative of what's going on outside of there. You can't get better care. In fact, probably this is as good a care as there is out there right now that Tuomey's ever offered, from the quality of surgeons that we have, the procedures that's in there, the equipment.
Right. If you stack us up against other facilities in the state, and there are lots of websites like healthcare.gov and Compare. If you Google healthcare comparisons, you can find all kinds of websites that try to rank hospitals, whether it's by customer satisfaction or quality scores. We're going to be right there in the middle with most everyone, regardless of size.
Well, as we come up on this break, I promise when we come back, we will talk about the new CEO. We kind of teased everyone a little bit, but I think we're covering a lot of great areas. Jeff, we'll be back after this, and we'll talk about your new CEO.
Back with more on Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care.
Reliable Medical Equipment has been locally owned and operated since 1999 and provides a full range of medical equipment and services. Our accredited facility has a fully certified staff, and we are here to assist you with all your diabetic shoe, custom bracing, and prosthetic needs. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, and most private insurances. We're located at 246 Broad Street. Call 934-9212 or 435-9927 for our Manning location, which is at 37 West Rigby Street. Voted Best Prosthetic and Orthotic Business for 7 years.
The doctor will see you now.
Are you new to Sumter or been here a while and in need of a new family health care provider? Look no further than the excellent care provided by the physicians and staff at Carolina Family Medicine. Carolina Family Medicine includes Dr. Philip Jansen and Dr. Tracy Ridgel, who both specialize in family medicine, and they're here to take care of you and your family, now accepting new patients. So call them today to schedule your appointment at 774-7425 or find out more at cfmsumter.com.
The doctor will see you now.
Here's a good policy from Bynum Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance. When your policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you with all your insurance needs 24/7. Now that's a good policy. This is Ed Bynum with Bynum Insurance. Call me for all your insurance needs at 803-469-3030.
After my surgery, I heard my children discussing their fear for me to live alone. I wasn't ready to give up my home and freedom, so I called At Your Service Home Care, and now I have my own concierge. It's owned locally by medical professionals. They work with me to make sure that I recovered from my surgery. Now I can stay at home and I have a new friend that I enjoy spending time with. If I need help around the house or have insurance or legal questions or just getting to my hairdresser, they help me with it all. Call At Your Service today for your free consultation, 607-9677.
Now back to Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care on WDXY, 1240 AM and 105.9 FM.
And welcome back on this Saturday morning. We're here with Jeff Ball from Tuomey Foundation, Tuomey Home Health Systems. I want to thank one of our sponsors, Reliable Medical Equipment, right there on Broad Street, 246 Broad Street. Go down there and see them for all of your respiratory, prosthetic medical equipment needs. 934-9212. Okay, Jeff, we were talking about Mr. Schwartz and just him coming into our community. We thought it'd be here about 6 months, 18 months. Him and his wife, beautiful people. And then we'd love to talk about his replacement. So, one final comment or so on Mr. Schwartz as we move on.
He was a very generous person, a real gentleman, a real leader. He did a perfect job, in my opinion, coming in and helping us get stabilized and move towards resolution on the case and restructure the organization in a time when we were not doing well financially because of the changing environment in health care with the Affordable Care Act and the insurance payers, it's just declining reimbursement, shifting the burden to individuals, and then you have less individuals coming to the hospital. So our volume came down, revenue came down, and we had to make a lot of adjustments, and he really helped us maneuver through that. He had a lot of experience prior to that in other states doing the same thing, helping restructure. So he really did a great job in helping us get turned around, back to profitability.
Mm-hmm.
And, he was already retirement age, and they wanted to go spend more time with their children. And so he said, I feel like the time is right. I've done all that I can do, and it's time for me to move on and let someone else do it for a while.
Good.
So I applaud the hospital board of trustees. They decided to appoint Michelle Logan Owens as our new CEO. She is a great replacement for Mr. Swartz. She has been at Tuomey, I believe, over 20 years.
Okay.
Way longer than I've been there. And so our management team, our leadership team has not changed at all. The same people that have been running the hospital for the last 20 years are the same people that are there today. So we have good
continuity, yeah.
Consistent leadership. And, that is so important. Our employees like this move. Our doctors like this, and the community likes this. So, and if you look at the Palmetto health system structure, it looks a lot like where we are right now. And I think what we see with this, in my humble opinion, what we see in this structure is a glimpse of what the future is probably going to look like, and the way that Palmetto oversees all of their different facilities. So Michelle is certainly capable, and everyone likes her a lot.
Good.
She's been in the corporate suite for a long time, and all of those VPs, William Renwick, Gene Dickerson, Terry Carlton, Lynn White, our CFO, they're all very seasoned pros, and I feel very good about where we are, and it's just a good leadership team.
Well, we talked about that at the gala.
Yes.
Just the feelings. And I'm sure everyone would love to be able to say, I know you probably at the head of the list, to say, all right, it is settled with the lawsuit. Everything's out of the way. Well, it will in due time.
Right.
And patience, I guess, is a virtue, and we're going to test that.
Yeah.
But it's great to know we have Michelle coming in. What Mr. Schwartz did to get us back in the right path. And then, like you said, we had 20 years of experience with her, and then the leadership from Dr. Dickerson and William and Renwick and the whole in 20 years, and
Terry Carlton. They've all been there 20 plus years.
And the structure that makes it a pretty easy parallel then, that if everything goes well with Palmetto, then we just fall right into their model of structure.
And in any big corporation, and ours is no different, the CEO is oftentimes, yes, they're the highest ranking official, but they're the leader, and they help prepare other people to move up. And oftentimes they're a figurehead. So, that second layer of leadership and executives, those are the people that really make things happen and do the work and have the relationships with all their managers and their staff and their teams. And so my point is, nothing has changed.
Great. When you still have a great board, a board that helps direct this now. I think John's done a tremendous job, and he's as honest as the day is long, and wants nothing but the best for this community. So
it just makes a lot of sense. The first thing I said when I heard that was, well, first of all, I'm not surprised, and secondly, it makes a lot of sense.
Good.
So, yes, our boards are very smart, the foundation board and the hospital board. I am just always humbled to be around all those people.
Anything new on the horizon as we talk with Tuomey? I know that we talked about two, I believe, with the psychiatric ward. It's something that you guys are bringing in via
telepsychiatry.
Yeah, and you might bring that back up because I think that's a very interesting, especially hardly anybody has psychiatry anymore. It just doesn't seem to be something that hospitals do. I know. Being able to handle that, it's a big deal here.
I saw a story a year or more ago how a few years ago there were just in South Carolina alone, there were maybe 10,000 or more beds designated for psychiatric patients. In fact, there were complete clinics, just psychiatric clinics, and they have pretty much all been closed, and mostly because the funding dried up. So there's no money to support it. And these institutions closed those wings or wards, whatever you want to call it, and that left a lot of those people out on the street. And so where do they end up when they need something?
Emergency room. Mm-hmm.
And our emergency room is not equipped to deal with those kind of patients and issues either, because we don't have a psychiatrist on staff, and they are very scarce as well. So this telepsychiatry unit was a great move for us, and we are very close to being up and running. There's a lot of regulatory approvals and all kinds of things that you might guess.
Right.
Credentialing of the doctors yet to be completed, but we're very close on that.
Let me cut you short on that so we can get to our last break. But very interesting. I'm excited for that, and I do see that is a tremendous problem out there. And we'll be right back after this.
Back with the latest in health and medical news on Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care, WDXY 1240 AM and 105.9 FM.
After my surgery, I heard my children discussing their fear for me to live alone. I wasn't ready to give up my home and freedom, so I called At Your Service Home Care, and now I have my own concierge. It's owned locally by medical professionals. They work with me to make sure that I recovered from my surgery. Now I can stay at home and I have a new friend that I enjoy spending time with. If I need help around the house or have insurance or legal questions or just getting to my hairdresser, they help me with it all. Call At Your Service today for your free consultation, 607-9677.
Reliable Medical Equipment has been locally owned and operated since 1999 and provides a full range of medical equipment and services. Our accredited facility has a fully certified staff, and we are here to assist you with all your diabetic shoe, custom bracing, and prosthetic needs. We accept Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, and most private insurances. We're located at 246 Broad Street. Call 934-9212 or 435-9927 for our Manning location, which is at 37 West Rigby Street, voted best prosthetic and orthotic business for 7 years.
The doctor will see you now.
Are you new to Sumter or been here a while and in need of a new family health care provider? Look no further than the excellent care provided by the physicians and staff at Carolina Family Medicine. Carolina Family Medicine includes Dr. Philip Jansen and Dr. Tracy Ridgel, who both specialize in family medicine, and they're here to take care of you and your family, now accepting new patients. So call them today to schedule your appointment at 774-7425 or find out more at cfmsumter.com.
The doctor will see you now.
Here's a good policy from Bynum Insurance and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you with all of your insurance needs 24/7. Now that's good policy. This is Bubba Johnson with Bynum Insurance. Call me for all your insurance needs at 803-469-3030.
This is Medical Forum, presented by At Your Service Home Care.
Welcome back to Medical Forum, sponsored by At Your Service Home Care. Again, if you're catching us here on Saturday morning, it will re-air also on Sunday from 2 to 3. And wanted to also, next week, catch us on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And our guests will be Sandy Wilson and Karen Schwartz from Bynum. So they will get us up to date on all the happenings with insurance, from life insurance to Obamacare and such. And here with Jeff Fall, and we've had a great morning, Jeff, and I appreciate you not only taking time out, great success with the 5-miler, great information on the new CEO, y'all. It sounds like everything's going to be fine with Tuomey, and we're going to have a nice transfer over, and kudos to Mr. Schwartz for coming in and taking on the challenge. We're going to miss him. And speaking of missing, we'd be remiss if we have a show on medical, and we lost a great friend, physician, just an absolute, one of the best human beings anyone ever meet. And a couple of weeks ago, we lost Dr. Pat Prost. And, I could tell 1,000 stories on him. He was 40 years older than me. But when I talk about him, you would think that we were the same age. And that's how he treated everyone. I've just never met a guy. I've had a couple gentlemen named Sam Hunter, who they're all from that generation, that just were an influence on so many people's lives. And you and I were talking at the break. He probably, between him and Dr. Young, who started Sumter Peds, are responsible for raising millions of kids.
Most of
us. But I went to his funeral, and his family's just wonderful. And we could go on and on and on about the great stories, but there was no one that raised people up more than him, and just will miss him terribly. If I could live a life like his, and died at the ripe young age with Pap of 90. But we miss you. I'm sure you're listening out there. Jeff, I know you and him would at the YMCA. You would see him even to the last day.
Oh yes, he swam most every day.
He was,
and of course,
great athlete.
He was a big supporter. Great athlete, in many ways, I'm sure.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to know him until his later years.
Yeah.
The last 7 or 8 years, though, we've been, I consider, pretty close. And he was a big advocate for the Tuomey Foundation. He served on the Tuomey Hospital Board for many years, and then the last 10 years on the foundation. He led the capital campaign to build the Women and Infants Pavilion, which, of course, was his love. And our largest campaign that we've ever put on, and raised nearly $10 million to build that. He led the way, and he was, just as passionate about that as everything else that he got involved in. But as you said, he was always a great encourager and teacher, and there was never an age barrier.
No.
One thing I noticed.
No.
And no matter who he was talking to,
one of the things I'll treasure as much as anything that I've got is letters that I still have from him. He wasn't an emailer, although he would email a time or two. But if he thought or read something that you had done, or thought, even if it was a learning tool or something that you might want to do better or to encourage you, is always at Reliable Medical Equipment. He thought the world of our staff, and he would write letters, just of endorsement, and it meant everything. So I probably saw him towards the end at the YMCA. There's two things he loved, aside from his family, which was first and foremost, and his deep, deep belief in faith. He loved the YMCA, which he grew up in from the time he was 12 years old, I believe, and that was his staple. Tremendous swimmer, basketball player, and such. But he loved Tuomey Hospital.
He sure did.
So we just wanted to give a little shout out on that. And it was a great, anyone who was at his funeral, just a great memorial. And we're going to miss you, Pat. You're in a better place. Back home with his wife as well. Didn't miss the anniversary. So, and Jeff, now, with that being said, Pap would be yelling at me to get back on subject with you, with Tuomey, and reel this thing in. So sometimes we need to do that. But again, we've covered a lot of things, and I think that we want to wish you luck with everything that's going on with the foundation. And when you talk about that continuity, one name you left out was yours. And I think that the work that you do in the foundation and keeping that going has always been a staple of the community through the fundraising. And I think what people need to understand is that as Tuomey raises money, through their organizations. They're giving back to the community. So in a way, you're almost a hub of raising money. And I know the hospice house. I know we didn't talk about that. Is that still on the horizon? Are we looking at having the hospice house anytime soon? Anything brewing?
Absolutely. We have not wavered from that, but we are kind of at the mercy of the court as well, because we want to get that federal case resolved, get all of that negative behind us.
Yes.
And so we started the employee campaign last year. Okay. Our employees are donating money. They are so supportive. I'm the biggest fan of our employees because they really have a heart for giving, and they love to help us expand our services and all the things that we do out in the community. Our foundation board is second to none, and I'm so proud of those people and the influence that they have and the hard work they all put in to help us raise this money. I am just a one small cog in the wheel.
Well, how do we get a hold of you for people listening in and want to donate and be a part of it? You've mentioned that not only do you internally with your staff raise money into endeavors like through the golf tournaments. If someone listening in who says, you know what, my mother went to the hospital, we were treated so well by the staff and the physicians there, I'd love to give back to my community. Mm-hmm. How do we get a hold of you, Jeff? How do people donate to the fine institution you guys have?
There's two easy ways. You can just call us at 774-9014, and we'll give you an address. You can mail in a donation if you want to, but you can go on our website, tuomeyfoundation.org, and there's a button on there that you can click on and make an online donation. It takes about 30 seconds. And once you do it one time, we make it real convenient for you, but it saves all that information. Mm-hmm. So you can set up to do it once a month, one time only. You can do it every day if you'd like to.
Well, you know what? I think that's a great way to end the show, and our hour has flown by. A lot covered. I appreciate you taking your time. Congratulations again on the 5-miler, and we'll do it again. We'll do it soon. All right, Jeff, thank you again.
Thank you for what you do.
You got it. So next Saturday, tune in also. We'll have Karen Schwartz and Sandy Wilson on from Bynum, and have a great weekend.